In a small, sleepy town nestled in the hills of an ancient forest, there lived a woman named Alara. She was known for her unmatched beauty, grace, and, most notably, her extraordinary talent as a dancer. Alara had a gift that mesmerized anyone who watched her perform, her movements as fluid as water, her presence as enchanting as the moonlight that bathed her in its glow. Her performances were held in secret, late at night, in the heart of the forest, where the trees whispered ancient tales and the air carried an eerie chill. She danced in the clearing, alone, under the vast, star-strewn sky, her silhouette like a shadow of pure elegance. No one truly knew how Alara came to live in the town or where she had learned such otherworldly dance moves. Some said she was an orphan, others believed she was a traveling performer who had settled in the quiet town after a long journey. What everyone agreed upon was her strange aura, an aura that pulled the very essence of life into her. When she danced, the world around her seemed to pause in reverence. But little did the townsfolk know, Alara's gift came at a steep price, one that would forever change the lives of those who dared to witness her midnight rituals. It all started one fateful evening when a curious group of villagers, captivated by whispers of Alara's nocturnal performances, decided to follow her into the forest. They had heard the rumors of her enchanting beauty and hypnotic dance, but no one had ever dared venture close enough to truly see her in action. As midnight approached, the group ventured quietly into the woods, their hearts pounding with a mixture of fear and fascination. They knew there was something otherworldly about Alara, but they couldn't resist the pull of curiosity. As they neared the clearing, they hid behind the dense trees and watched, their breaths caught in their throats. In the pale moonlight, Alara appeared in the center of the clearing, her long, flowing dress billowing around her as if the wind itself were part of the dance. The moment she began to move, the entire forest seemed to hold its breath. Her feet barely touched the ground, her body spinning and swaying in an ethereal, fluid motion that defied the laws of nature. The music that accompanied her was faint, like a distant melody carried on the wind, and it seemed to come from the very earth beneath her. But as they watched, a creeping unease began to settle over the group. The longer Alara danced, the more unnatural her movements became. It was as if the rhythm of her body was no longer governed by the world of the living. Her dance grew faster, more erratic, and her eyes, her once beautiful, bright eyes, became dark, void of life. Her smile twisted into something almost sinister, and a cold, unsettling energy filled the air. It was as if Alara was no longer a woman, but something far older, something ancient, something cursed. Suddenly, the ground beneath the dancers' feet began to tremble, the trees around them groaning as if they were alive. The villagers gasped, their hearts pounding in their chests. They tried to turn and flee, but it was too late. The forest itself seemed to close in around them, trapping them in its shadow. Alara's dance continued, faster now, her movements almost violent in their intensity. Her body twisted in unnatural ways, her limbs contorting as if her very soul was being torn apart, but she could not stop. It was as though the dance had taken control of her, an ancient curse that forced her to perform until the very end. The villagers, paralyzed with fear, could do nothing but watch as Alara's dance spiraled into madness. Her body jerked and writhed, her screams echoing through the trees, her face contorting in agony. The ground around her cracked open, and from the dark abyss, figures began to emerge, shadowy, twisted shapes, their forms as elusive as smoke. They circled Alara, their eyes glowing with malice. These figures were not human, they were the spirits of those who had witnessed her cursed dance before, trapped in the same eternal loop. As the last of the villagers tried to run, they were pulled back, as if invisible hands gripped them from all sides. One by one, they disappeared into the shadows, never to be seen again. Their souls, just like Alara's, were claimed by the forest, bound to dance forever in the darkness. Alara's body twisted and contorted one final time before she collapsed in the center of the clearing, her body lying motionless on the cold earth. But the forest did not grow silent. The music continued, the whispers of the trees swirled around her, and in the distance, you could still hear the faint sound of her footsteps echoing in the wind, as if her dance had never truly stopped. To this day, travelers who wandered too close to the forest at midnight claim to hear the soft, haunting melody of a dance echoing through the trees. Some even claim to have seen a woman, her form glowing faintly under the moonlight, moving gracefully across the clearing. If you look closely enough, you might catch a glimpse of her eyes, dark, lifeless, and staring straight into your soul. And if you're unlucky, you might feel an irresistible pull to step into the forest, where the cursed rhythm of her dance will claim you too. For those who dare venture near the cursed forest, one piece of advice remains: never, under any circumstances, watch the dance for too long. For once you become entranced by the rhythm, you too may become part of the haunting, forever doomed to dance with Alara under the moonless sky. If this story left you with chills and you want to hear more tales of the supernatural, be sure to subscribe to our channel. We have countless spine-chilling stories that will keep you on the edge of your seat.